Good afternoon and welcome to episode 9. This is
Yeah,
we're moving along pretty well.
we're gonna
Episode
lose
9.
track eventually, honestly.
Now I know soon we're just gonna have the topics summarized in a nice neat title going
So,
forward.
so what are the topics of the day, Mikhail?
So yeah, before we're gonna be diving into looking at Trump's new order on the census. We'll be also looking at the 100% tariff on semiconductors, as well as the Israeli cabinet and the prime minister confirming and approving Gaza's occupation. So let's get started looking at this new census order. So yesterday, August 7th, 2025, President Donald Trump announced via Truth Social, because that's how policy is made in the Trump administration these days.
Announcements
Um,
on his privately owned social media
yeah,
network.
Yep. Directing the Commerce Department to initiate work on a new and highly accurate census. This proposed census would exclude undocumented immigrants and non-citizens from the count, used for appropriating, congressional seats, electoral votes, and also federal funding allocations. Trump's referenced using information gained from the presidential election from 2024 and modern day facts to infer, this citizenship status and kind of use that information as a push to get illegal immigrants off the roll. The Commerce Department has signaled the intent to proceed by looking to analyze records of estimated citizenship figures. This is echoing, Trump's unsuccessful, multiple attempts during his first term to add citizenship questions to the 2020 census. I'm sure some of our listeners remember that when the year 2020 was around, and Supreme Court was taking up and actually blocked Trump from doing that. So the
That's funny to
order,
me. I don't remember
yeah,
that.
yeah, I actually do remember when that happened. So that the order aims to reinterpret the census process without a constitutional amendment, potentially making it the first time the United States excludes non-citizens from the census count and apportment process. And I think my issue with that is that it's fine to have clean rolls and have illegal immigrants off the rolls. I understand that because they are not constitutionally, legally able to vote. But I also have an issue with, if we're going to be tackling that issue, let's also tackle an issue that I've talked on here before: the prison gerrymandering issue.
Yeah,
I believe 32 or 37 states within 2020 counted prison populations within their census count.
are the
So we're
prisoners
not,
allowed to vote?
and so most states they're not allowed to. Some states they are, most states they're not allowed to actually
That's
vote.
not fair.
Yes, so that's exactly like in Pennsylvania. If I'm 99% sure, inmates are not able to vote, but yet they are still counted in their in the county's census. So
That's
if you have,
fascinating.
so then that's also another thing why sometimes see Republicans that are very pro jail and pro complex, basically building up jails and things of that nature within their district for kind of those reasonings, as well as gerrymandering jails and so forth within their districts to gain those voters. So looking at it on both sides, it needs to be fair. It shouldn't just be let's just look at illegal immigrants that are only benefiting the Democrats. Let's not look at this other grander issue that is benefiting actually the Republican Party. Mom, what do you think about that?
Well, the big thing is, I don't think the Republicans would be taking on such a dramatic redistricting and census challenge if it were if they were confident in their ability to win the midterms and beyond. I think they are nervous because the numbers do show that they've been sliding out of the public opinion. And despite the fact that Democratic voters hate the Democrats substantially more than Republican voters hate Republicans, the country in general wants has been leaning more towards Democrats. They've been getting sick of the GOP's bullshit. And an interesting thing about the census is that, well, it would require a change to it, which would require congressional
Yeah.
approval in order to get that change made. Now, at the moment, as Mikhail mentioned earlier, and I actually forgot that, but I was just reading into it after he mentioned it. So the Supreme Court shut down Trump's citizenship question because it ran against the 14th Amendment, which says any persons in the state shall be counted for the census, except for, and this 14th Amendment actually carves a group out, non-tax paying Indians. So that's the Native Americans. When if they chose not to pay tax and live on their own reservation, they weren't counted on the list. So Indians that do not pay to the federal government are the only ones not counted on the census. Everybody.
Mohammed, did I lose you? Little technical difficulties here. Mohammed disconnected.